First of all, Turbine we wrote about 2 years ago during the consent process for the Macra wind farm. And I was out at Macra and speaking with someone out there, and he said to me that he'd had some Meridian people, or I think it's Meridian, and they'd come around on a Sunday afternoon for 3 hours to consult with them, which I thought was pretty committed and extraordinary and ridiculous. And I started looking into it and found this issue that is very controversial for people that live there, and I thought it was going to be a good backdrop to a human story if we could come up with one. So I assembled this group of people and we started with the issue, but we definitely didn't finish with the issue because, of course, you know, just debating the ins and outs of wind turbines is incredibly tedious. And we started developing this story over 3 months, just using improvisation and always scripting. We always script stuff, and we have a very tight script. There's nothing improvised, but we do develop the script on our feet, and we've always done that throughout the last 8 plays that we've done, starting with SEEyD, the first play that we did in 2000, which was about a single farmer who couldn't get his wife pregnant. And the backdrop to that story was genetic engineering in New Zealand, and strangely enough it was happening at exactly the same time that the whole Corngate thing was unfolding, and we found with every play that we've done there has been some weird kind of synchronicity, and even doing this again, this whole thing erupting over the dock, bribery, it just seems incredible. Three months to write it, to write all the plays. All the plays are written over 3 months. That gives you enough time to do all the improvising and create maybe twice the amount of material that you need, and then a middle month where you cut it down and you start working it, and then another whole month where you basically know the material but you rehearse it and you rehearse it and you rehearse it, and we go over and over it until I'm satisfied. I'm kind of Asperger's until it's absolutely tight. I'm pedantic about it, but it's really just time. None of us are good writers, none of us are geniuses or anything like that, but all the physical stuff happens at the same time. The design happens at the same time. There's time to do it like that. It's not sort of an adjunct at the end to design it and put in the lights at the end. We even try and rehearse with lights and do stuff in the dark if it requires it and see what it looks like. But it's just about having time. Most of us went to drama school in our early 20s, and I've been doing, I got into drama school when I was 19, and so I've been doing it for 20 years now. But when I left, I was determined not to sit by the phone and wait, and I just had some like-minded people, and first thing we did was write a show in Fringe Festival, just an hour long, about 2 brothers backstage waiting to do a show that they'd written. It was you start with what you know, and then you sort of develop the skills from there. But I think it was really just came out of a desperation to get work.
No, definitely. It's sometimes as an actor you're just a conduit for someone else's viewpoint and someone else's idea, and it's incredibly attractive. And also more scary in a way to actually be involved in something right from the start and actually have your opinions. Friends of mine come and see this, and some of the attitudes and thoughts that are stated in the play, you sort of want to go, did you like it? Oh, that was mine. Did you like it? Oh, that was Nick. It's great. No, I just love that sense of responsibility, and it's a different sort of creativity.
But I'd seen some of the shows that Tim had put on, and I'd seen him in other shows at Circa and Downstage. We were friends, and he'd seen some of the things I did and asked me to work with him, and I was, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to. It's interesting work, it's our own voices, New Zealand stories. I'm interested in that, and I'm interested in devising and making work.
I'd seen the show the first time and thought it was really good, and I worked with Tim directed our grade show at drama school, so I knew to a point what I was but no, I've really enjoyed working with this group. There's a great dynamic, and the rehearsal, we had a couple of weeks rehearsal before Christmas, and it was just basically for me, I think, to put me into it so that when we came back this year, it was kind of like we all knew what was happening, and yeah, it's been a great process.
It's just always been a really buzzy little cast this. It's small, we did the whole thing together and we all get on really well. So I think it sort of somehow shows in the work, because this has definitely been the one that I've been most satisfied with, this play. Yeah. It's not strictly we don't strictly have a side or a message about the issue of wind farms, but we did find ourselves telling a story about people confronted with change and how difficult that was, and compromise really. But as far as the issue goes, we just prefer to let, this character believes this character believes the opposite. Let them slug it out, and the audience can kind of draw their own conclusions.
We had a major problem with it when we came to re-meet the play, because we had recorded it but we'd lost the tapes, so we couldn't remember exactly what we had done, so we had to
and then it would be like, oh yes, hold on, it was definitely this, and then
It did come back to us, but it was probably good that we didn't have the tapes to completely recreate it anally. We just,